How's it going, guys? Patrick here from Queen's Gambit and bringing you a special topic, another Clash 101 episode, and today it is on how many loons do I need to bring to a raid? So what I'm talking about here is I'm not talking about Lalunian or anything like that, but more about Holo Wee, for example, where, as you see in the replay, you start off with a bunch of loons, you try and take out some of the outer defenses, and what sort of quantities you should be looking at. Because guys, all the time, this is just such a common problem. I always see people either taking in like 5 loons when they only needed 2, so that's why it's 15 camp space wasted, or they don't take enough, so that's all these key defenses they're meant to take out remain intact, and it ruins their entire raid. So today we'll be answering, how many loons do you need to take out an archer tower? How many loons to take out a cannon? What should you think about in terms of the quantities that you bring? So I'll give you guys 5 top tips for this. And the thing to know is that you hear these guys saying, oh, well, it's 1 for 1, 1 loan for 1 archer tower, for example. But, that depends on a lot of things in reality. It's not that simple. It depends if it's been rigged to air mines, if that archer tower's in range of other defenses, the distance the loon has to travel. So that's all the stuff I'll be covering off. So number 1 is to know how many bomb drops are required to take out each of these defenses. So what do I mean by that? I mean that for the mortar, the archer tower, and the Tesla, all that is required is 1 bomb from a loon to be dropped on it, and then the loon to crash on it. So mortar, archer tower, and Tesla, all you need is 1 bomb drop and then 1 loon crash. So you're not going to take them out with just a single bomb drop, you actually need your loon to crash on top of it as well. And now guys, that is different, and this is really important to note, that is different to a cannon and a wizard tower. So what needs to happen for cannon and wizard tower, it either needs 2 bomb drops, or you need 1 bomb drop and 2 loons to crash on top of it. So let's go back to this replay and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Sorry guys, got no fancy editing here, I'll just have to hit the replay button. So look at this, right? Up north, I'm about to drop a loon. So to take this cannon out, focus on a cannon, you need 1 loon to drop on it, 1 loon to drop the bomb, and then that last loon on a cannon has to actually fall on it, right? So see what it took? It took 2 loon crashes and 1 loon bomb. Now let's contrast that to archer tower. So here we go, here's archer tower. And all that archer tower requires is 1 bomb drop, which is coming up now, and 1 loon crash. So see that the cannon needed 2 loons to crash on, the archer tower only needed 1. So that's the first tip, is to know what's required to take out each defense. So cannons and wizard towers, usually as a general rule of thumb, they require twice as many loons to take out, because you've either got to have 2 bombs or 2 loons and drops. And they obviously take out much longer. So the next tip, tip number 2 to consider with how many loons to take, is distance. So check this out, see this archer tower down south, right? So as I said before, you only need 1 loon drop and 1 loon bomb to take out an archer tower, which would imply you should only have 1 loon. But the thing is that, look at the distance they had to travel. They had to travel so far that I actually needed to take 2 loons. The first one got shot down before it could even drop its bomb. So if there is a long distance to travel, make sure you take an extra loon. Note that the archer tower wasn't in range of any air defenses or anything like that. So the next tip number 3 is consider the other defenses around. So what does this mean? I'll show you. Now, for example, if you want to loon that cannon there, so you want to loon a cannon, what you want to do is you want to see what is in range of that cannon, what other defenses are covering that cannon. So we've got 1 archer tower covering a cannon, we've got another archer tower covering it, we've got a crossbow set to air which is covering it, and perhaps air defenses covering it, I'm not too sure. So what that means is that if you've got a lot of stuff covering your cannon, your archer tower, you're probably going to need more loons. And you probably have to take a step back and think, well, if I got 3 or 4 buildings covering this defense, do I really want to waste 3-4 loons to get it? So for example, this would have been a better example is this black cannon here. You see in a replay I don't bother looning it because It's covered by what? The air defense, it's covered by the crossbow, it's covered by the archer tower, there's a Tesla which pops out, it's covered by... So there becomes a point where the defense you want to take out is covered by so many other defenses that it's just not economic to use loons. So that's why I kind of only take out the outer ones. I mean, the outer ones are just... I mean, if there's such a short travel time, even though they are covered by a few defenses, that I don't need to take many loons. So as we're saying, you've got to consider the distance as well. Number 4, and this is an obvious one, is air mines. So if you're doing a attack which isn't a clean-up attack, so you don't know where the air mines are, you probably need to take 1 or 2 extra loons in your back pocket. The reason is that if a seeking air mine hits, it'll take down a loon in one go, and if a red mine hits, it can actually make your loon completely ineffective, depending on how close it is. So if you're not doing a cleanup attack, take an extra couple of loons to account for air mines. If you are, you know where the air mines are, so you know exactly what to do. And the final tip, and I'll go into replay to show this one, is to consider minions. So see these mortars here. I mean, if I wasn't really thinking in this raid, I could have just took a couple of loons, right? 1 for each mortar, and it wouldn't be a bad trade. But what is an even better trade, what is even better in taking those loons, is the minions. See how I spent only 4 camp space to take out 2 mortars for minions? And compare it, if you took 2 loons, it would actually take 10 camp space instead of 4. So, if you're thinking about learning outer defenses, take a look at situations where minions can be used. And minions can only really be used on ground defenses that are out of range of everything else. So those minions are out of range of Archer Tower, they're out of range of the air defense and the Teslas which pop over there. So that is a good example of when to use minions. I mean, admittedly, there's not a lot of cases. There's not a lot of easy trades you can get with them, but when they're there, guys, you just got to take them, eh? You just got to take them. It's so helpful, so good for your raid. So, in summary, because I don't want to waffle on too quickly, there's no easy answer for how many loons you need to take on your holo wee wee, or if you're just taking out easy targets or trades. The things to consider are that a mortar, archer tower, or Tesla, all they require is 1 bomb drop and also a loon to crash on it. But the cannons and wizard towers, these guys require either 2 bomb drops or 1 bomb drop and 2 loon crashes. So there's a big difference in terms of how many loons you have to take. Number 2 is to consider the distance. Like, even though this should have been a 1-for-1 trade down here on Archer Tower, the distance was so long, the first loon got shot down before it could even get off its bomb. So if there's a big distance, then you've got to take more loons. And that's the opposite of what happened up here, where the distance is super short, so the trades were easy. Number 3 is that if you're ever selecting a target that you want to loon, take a look at how many other things are firing in on it. So if there's a lot of firepower, you're going to have to take more loons, or even question why you want to loon it in the first place. Number 4, consider air mines. If it's not a cleanup attack, you don't know where air mines are, so all you can do is take in a few extra loons. And number 5, don't forget that you can use minions. These are way better trades. Really, really awesome. And yeah, so really efficient on camp space. Two camp space for 1 entire defense. So I'll let the replay run if you guys want to see that all tied together. I'll chuck some commentary over the top, but for now it's sort of a lesson ended. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you later. Okay, so here we go. We've got, I think I took about 10 loons, or maybe a bit more to this raid. Got all the targets I wanted up the top. That's those mortars, plus also the Archer Tower and cannons. Going in the south, got that Archer Tower, and luring from the north, so I got a couple of hogs in there to lure Clan Castle. Now we're doing the usual thing, dropping our barbarians out front to tank, which is in next for Queen, and 2 wizards to provide with DPS. Note that I cut the funnel at the north, so yeah, we got no army camp up north, so the troops are going to funnel exactly where I want them. Golem is sort of going the right way, triggering lots of spring traps, and we got the jump down so the king can get in a core. He is aggroing out on a queen, and she'll be out of our way. Now, what I want to do also is trigger those double giant bomb spaces in a core. So hoping that the king and the golem will stray into there. Now we got hogs which came in on the east and also on the west now. I didn't know if there was double giant bombs here, so I'm taking out those mortars. Look at that, there's no double giant bombs, so I can send in my hogs. And meanwhile in a core, that is 3 bombs out of the 4 which have been triggered, so I don't have to worry about any double bombs for the rest of the raid. I don't have many hogs because I took a lot of loons, but I'm keeping them under heal, and they're cutting right through the base. So here we go, guys. Second heal is down, and a fourth bomb is triggered by that wonderful stray hog. And yeah, so we can see that our enemy's base is severely crippled. Everyone's under heal, so there's no harm coming to the hogs, even though I only have a few. And I've got one more heal spell, which I'll deploy right about now to keep the hogs up. And it's all going to be clean up from here, guys. That was a smooth raid. It actually went according to plan. Now, as I was saying in the video, I didn't know if this was if there was air mines around those defenses, so I kept 2 extra loons just in case there was. And yeah, but the loons went smoothly, so I got those 2 extra loons for cleanup. I got a couple more minions for cleanup, considering where to deploy them. But as you can see, it's pretty much game over. 2.5 minutes. Max defense, Town Hall 9 bombs in the core is taken down. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Clash 101 video. I hope you enjoyed the raid too. Hit that subscribe button. I will catch you later.